I thought it was just me.
Even with love, there's some things that we gotta face. So much we go through day to day. Trauma that we can't erase. Jesus, we need you to take your place. So come right in, we need you within. And with your love, we know we can win. Yeah, we know it ain't always easy being in this, and I know I'm not the only one. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Guess who's back? Hey, everybody.
He just cutting all the way up today, y'all. Good evening, good evening.
Good evening. How y'all doing? I missed y'all.
I'm just gonna sit here because he's just so excited about being back, talking about me and Raven kicked him out.
They
And
did,
so
y'all.
he told me he's taking over tonight. So I'm just gonna sit here for a minute and let him act up.
Listen, I just wanted to tell y'all that I really missed y'all. I enjoy being behind the scenes, pressing the buttons and everything, but it's nothing like being in front of here, talking to my family and my friends. Listen, the ladies took over, and it was for the worthy cause for her history month and moment.
Absolutely.
And I'm so proud of my wife, and I'm so proud of my baby girl for coming in and really holding it down. They did a great and amazing job. Kudos to you. I applaud you and Raven and all the great things that y'all done, and all the great things that y'all represented throughout the time of March.
I know we had some great people on.
Yeah,
man.
y'all had some amazing guests.
We had Minister Nigel. We had Princess on. We had
Sandra.
Mel and Kadeen.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had Zandra. We had wait a minute. We had the Reverend Dr. Zandra. And then we had Dr. Andrew. Dr. Angie. I'm calling her Andrew. Dr. Angie. What's wrong with me?
Right.
And I think, was that it for that? Yes. Up until what was last week? You know, my mind time, I'm getting up there. But we had a great time with the ladies. We learned a lot about people. Yeah. And how about this? Reverend Dr. Zandra, revealed that she's going to be starting her grandparents ministry. Yeah. She shared that here with us. And it was a blessing to hear that. And guess what, y'all? We all sold $600 into her launching her ministry. So give yourselves a hand. Put some hearts in the chat.
Hearts in the chat.
Just to pump that up. That was really nice of everybody sewing into her ministry. So I don't know if we were the first, but $600 is a nice little jump off for her ministry. So God is good. I'm so excited for her with that, and I know that he's going to do great things because a grandparents ministry is much needed. I believe in all areas. They're doing a lot. They're taking care of a lot of their grandbabies these days, but not just that, getting them educated, like on how to use a computer, how to care for your grandkids, how to have a relationship with your grandchildren. Some grandparents don't know how to have a relationship with their grandchildren. So I think she's going to cover a lot of bases, and I'm excited for her with that. And I'm excited about over here at RFK Couples and Marriage. We strive to push you through into your destiny in any way that comes in any shape, form, or fashion. Monetary. She has a mentor in place for her. She has a spiritual covering in place. So, we do all we can to help her from this end.
Hey, that's awesome. I mean, I think that's a very valuable. You said the key words for this year: push, right? So that's pushing in every area of our lives.
Yeah.
Not just in our marriage, but in ministry, with our children, with our parents, with whatever that it is that our desires, our vision, God's vision. We're a community. This is what this is all about. And it's always a great place. If you guys are interested this is our platform. Kinley and I are the face. You see us, but this is our platform as a community to be able to share resources and information for other people to pour into or give encouragement about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So kudos again to her history. I was so proud of us. We did a whole month of ladies. So I'm excited about that. A lot of estrogen was in the room. But I also was excited about Elder Shirley. She preached a sermon.
Okay.
You know, it was so great because God had laid on me when I was praying last Thursday, right at the end of our prayer moment, that he said that to me that someone was walking in unforgiveness, they're walking in condemnation, not forgiving themselves about things they did in the past. And she preached Sunday, and that was the very message that she was preaching that Sunday. So I was like, thank you, Lord. Sometimes you don't know. You know, you believe in you're hearing God, but you're not sure. But she confirmed it in the chat, and then she ended up preaching a whole sermon about what we prayed about that morning. So God is good. We are doing some great things. God is moving in the group. I'm so proud of everybody that's got something that God has given them. That's what we're doing. You know, we holding God stuff. Let's put it out there. So I'm excited about it.
And shout out to all the new members that have joined.
Yes.
You know, we've been getting a lot of influx of new members.
Absolutely.
I don't want to mess anybody's names up, but for everybody that's joined within the last month or so, we just want to tell you thank you.
And welcome.
Welcome to our community.
Yes.
We embrace you with open arms. So
yes.
just feel welcome as you come in if you're watching tonight or watching the restream later on. So we just want to tell y'all that. So it's been major.
Yeah.
So we did some great things over the weekend, right?
I'm telling you, Ricardo, we finished Thursday prayer. And I was like, well, we got a busy weekend ahead of us. So what did we do Friday, Ricardo?
So Friday, check this out. We did date night.
Absolutely.
Date night with your girlfriend, with your boyfriend, with your boo thing. However y'all address each other, that's what we did. So a lot of the people here locally in Virginia, we rented out this establishment, which is also a restaurant. And I'm going to go ahead and put that plug out there for them. It's Yolks on Us in Portsmouth.
Yolks with 2 O's.
Yeah, Yolks with 2 O's. It's an amazing restaurant. We first went there to go get breakfast, and the food was amazing. So we went there and frequented there maybe 2 or 3 times, and I got the opportunity to speak to the owner. And he gave us the ability to be able to have that spot and that place. And we had an amazing time, y'all. We played games. We tried to do a little. We tried to do a little line dancing, but I was the DJ and I was kind of messing that. I was kind of messing that up a little bit. I'm gonna do better next time.
We wanted. Remember they said the club we had to say kill the DJ. That was Ricardo. We wanted to kill the DJ because it was terrible. But overall, we had an amazing time. If you look in the group, you'll see some of the videos that was recorded. How about we got some men that dressed their wives up, y'all. We got some designer husbands. What? And I mean, when it was time for them to describe what their wives had on, they was breaking that thing down.
We had Christian Louboutin in the building.
Right.
We had Versace in the building.
We had Wakanda, the queen of Wakanda was on the scene. Man. I mean, we didn't know we had all these great men with these talents when it comes to designing women clothes and selling it. I mean, Michael Straw. Mike been watching so much The Bold and the Beautiful. That thing was so funny. He said he was Ridge Forrester. So he literally did his wife from her head to her toes and had her legs. I mean, it was hysterical. But we had a great time. And we actually played a game about who could no, I'm not
Don't do it.
But it was fun. We was competing about using a straw, and we'll save that for you. You missed out.
Mm-hmm. Use your imagination.
And we did a few cup games, but we had such a good time. And it was just so many people showed up. We were 22 couples registered, and I think we had 20 couples to show up. So that was a great turnout for, especially when the first one we did in January, I think it was January. It was 7 couples.
Right.
So from the January to the March date night, we went from 7 couples to 20 couples. So we're believing when we do this again in either May or June, we're believing for that to double again. And we actually had to change the space because we had too many people. Not too many. We have more people.
Right. So
we'll see what happens in June. I'm so excited. I was thinking about we could do an all-white night.
And see, that's what we do. When we start doing these types of events, man, we want to build on it. We want to make it even more fun.
Yeah.
Make it more interesting.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Bringing up themes like all white, maybe.
And get us a comedian to come over and do some comedic stuff. Y'all don't know who. By the end of the summer, we have 100 folks out there doing good things. Yeah. Date night. All having a good time, building our marriages together.
Yeah, having a great time.
Look, and all that'll get us to, and all that with those date nights and all the stuff, that'll just get us geared up for Houston.
Let's go.
Yes, we're excited about the conference in Houston, y'all.
Here we come, Houston.
Yes.
November, right?
November 10th to the 12th.
Mm-hmm.
So we're working the behind the scenes things out for us right
we
now.
Got
but
something special for y'all.
Don't be trying to talk about the women stuff. Get your stuff together.
But we still got something special for y'all.
Yes.
Y'all got to come see it.
Y'all get more information as soon as the men get their stuff together.
The men is on their way. Don't worry about us, men. We got this together, all right?
Yes, but y'all got to come.
Right.
We try to make them tickets cheap so the people locally won't be like, that's too much. No, we try to hook it up, get some sponsors to help out. So we believe that God is going to really breathe on this moment. As a matter of fact, an apostle spoke with Ricardo and I and said that he believes that this is going to launch us to a whole nother level, the marriages and the marriage ministry and the marriage outreach. So I'm excited about that all in itself. And I believe that too, what God has done this week alone, I know he's doing something special with this moment. So I'm excited about it. And the last thing that before we get our special guest on tonight.
I got one more thing after you.
You want okay. We got May 27th is when we're gonna do our boo walk. And that's gonna be $25. We want y'all to plan that. It's a walk. So we're doing it as a fundraiser. So $25, not a fundraiser for RK Couples in Marriage. It's a fundraiser for we're trying to get 5 young adult married couples that probably can't do that on their own and manage their families. So we're going to try to help offset some of the hotel room maybe or the airline ticket, and make sure that they have tickets to get in the gala and everything that they need. So we're doing that. That's going to be the first thing that we do, the boo walk, $25 a couple. You pledge and you make your 3-mile walk. So I think we're going to build that park in Newport News. I'm double checking into that right now. But I think it's going to be a great time. And
I think it's special, again, as us as communities coming together to do something and invest in other couples, younger couples, or couples that may not have the ability or the resources to be able to do that. And I just wanted to double back to, we said that this is the year to push. So we're in the month of April, which is H.
Yes.
And H for the push represents hope. So don't lose it.
Yes.
Keep it close.
Hope.
Hope is where it's at.
Hope is where it's at. It's positively believing that God is going to do great and marvelous things. Faith is the thing that's hoped for and evidence of things not seen. We faith in it and we hope in it this year. Ferocious faith. And we are hoping that God is going to do great and marvelous things in the month of April. I've actually put it in our group, Pastor Deneen. She talked about that thing about the month of April is the open window, the open door. This is the season that God pours down blessings. So she told us that if y'all didn't get to listen to that, that's why I put it in there. So you can go in there and listen to what she was saying, how she was breaking that thing down. So to make sure you got yourself ready for the blessings that God has coming. But it's also the month of things that come against you also. So she was just telling us how to maneuver and be prepared for the things that's coming this month. So if you haven't watched it, just for any other reason, go on and listen to her and her break that down because I thought that was really good.
So listen, you said ferocious faith. I wish I had like a sound effect of a lion roaring every time you said I would play the sound effect.
We gonna get that. It's on our phone.
Let me stop.
Yeah,
but anyway, but y'all know we had we just written a book not too long ago, and it was released on March 2nd of this year called We Won't Quit. And we're so super excited and proud of it. It's been making some traction, and we getting people buying this book all over the world, literally.
All over the world, yes. Germany, Poland, Switzerland, the United Kingdom. Boop, boop, boop. God is doing it.
So for y'all that have not gotten the book yet, I would highly advise that you get this book. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is not just a shameless plug, but 2 of our next guests that are in the book happen to be with us tonight. So we are loving and appreciating them taking time out of their busy schedule to join us tonight, just to have a little conversation, right?
Yes,
just conversation.
So after this short video clip, we will welcome our guests, Mr. and Mrs. No. How about Team Pretlow?
Team Pretlow. Let's get it.
Yes. Let's see if I can do this right here.
We had the wonderful opportunity to collaborate with a wonderful, amazing group of writers. In our book, we hope that you can explore your own marriage. We hope that we can take you on the journey to explore each chapter and find one chapter that really relates to your marriage.
Our chapter is titled The Blessing That Brought Us Closer. This was a profound episode in our marriage that challenged our faith and stability. But I can say after 29 years later, we are still going strong.
So y'all, without further ado, can we put some hearts in the chat
Clap
to
hands.
get ready for our good friends,
Clapping hands emoji.
Brian and Tabitha?
Let's show them love tonight,
yes,
y'all.
Let's show some love. Let's show some love in the chat.
Woo-hoo.
Give us some hearts. Tag some friends.
Team Pretlow is in the building.
We so excited. Look, they got the numbers up tonight, honey. Y'all must be popular.
Shout out to Team Pretlow. What's up, Brian?
How y'all doing?
We good.
We doing good. I know we just over the top today. Ricardo was excited. I'm excited. My boo is back, and he excited to be back. So
it's nice to see you, Ricardo. It's nice to see you.
Thank you.
Brian said,
it's nice to be seen. Calm down since my brother Brian is on.
You know, Brian is
he real smooth dude. Man.
Look, he told us that testimony at date night. I was like, Brian is smooth now, but Brian was the man back in the day.
Yeah.
And see, those are the special gems that y'all get when we go to these date nights and do these date nights, man. We get more information, more intimate information about our couples that are a part of this. We all talked about how we actually met, and there was some very interesting stories, to say the least.
Absolutely. And as you guys just saw in the video, they both were a part of the marriage conference. I mean, this is marriage conference, Lord. We Won't Quit book. I got the marriage conference on the mind for Rose's
we were there too last year. We were there
That's
too.
Right. We were at the conference last year. Lord have mercy. Look, well, praise God for that. But they are in the book. And we're so excited about their chapter in the book. But we're going to have them introduce themselves first and tell us a little bit about their family and different things. And then we'll have them tell a little bit about the book. And we're going to conversate from there, because this couple right here is amazing. And they've done a lot as a husband and wife. They said 29 years, I believe. Let me not tell it all. Y'all introduce yourselves. Introduce.
I'll go, you go. We are Tabitha and Brian Pretlow. We are originally from New Jersey. Brian's company transferred us down here about 26 years ago. We have 4 beautiful girls, 2 at ODU, 1 about to graduate and go to ODU. And that 4th baby girl that we wrote about, she'll eventually go to ODU.
ODU family.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
What do you say, Rick? Brian,
so Brian, you are truly a girl dad, aren't you?
I'm a girl dad. Didn't really plan it like that, but that's what God gave me.
Well, some people say they have like 3 women in the house. You got a whole 5.
Even the dog is a girl. We have a girl dog.
No,
and a girl dog.
And I say, people always say guys that have all daughters must have been a certain way when they were younger, and I wasn't like that. And I'm like, God, another girl. I'm like, I'm trying for this boy, but another girl. I'm like, oh man, I guess I'm just a girl dad. I wouldn't change it for the world. I love all of them. You know, they take care of me. You know, it takes a special kind of man to have a house full of women and still keep his sanity.
Yes.
And still be able to be a man. They allow me to, like, if it's time for me to like do some guy stuff, they say, go ahead, dad. Or my wife would say, go ahead, be with your friends or be with your male friends. So you can, because you need that.
Absolutely.
When you're in a house full of women, it can be a little hectic, but, I just try to, spend my time and do my things on the side, little hobbies, just keep my sanity a little bit. But overall, it's been a blessing. I wouldn't change it for the world.
That's a good recommendation.
Yeah, that is good. I think you teaching right now.
Yes,
talking, man. That whatever those options are, especially with your wife and your daughter supporting you and going and doing things with other guys or whatever it is, giving you your me time is very important. So.
Absolutely. I love how you said that, you talk to your wife, you got all the girls, they got all these different things going on, but you have to pull away sometime and go and be with the men so they, for one, to keep your sanity. Because I know a house full of women, a house full of different cycles going on in the house, to be kind of crazy. But the fact that you're able to pull away and go and do some me stuff, because we women, we're quick to say we need some me time.
Right.
You as a man, you could, like Ricardo said, you teaching real good right there, because sometimes men forget. And I was just looking here lately on the news, African American men are having all these heart attacks and all these high blood pressure and different things because they're not taking the time out like you're doing to go and woosah.
Yeah. But iron sharpens iron, right? Yeah. So when you allow him to go out and be the man that he needs to be with his male friends, then he comes home a better man. Absolutely. So when you capture them in the house, you're like, no, stay home with me. It's all about me. He can't get sharpened. Yeah. So he's got to go out there and sharpen himself so he can be a better husband and father.
Yeah.
Wisdom.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, y'all tell us a little bit about what you wrote about in the book. You ain't got to tell everything.
We got to keep them guessing.
You can give us a little bit.
Well, I mean, I think one important fact, the reason we wrote the chapter was one, we were predicted not to have kids. We were told that we couldn't have kids. We had 6 miscarriages. They told us to adopt. They said, you're just not going to be able, I could get pregnant, but I couldn't hold it. I couldn't keep it. So we lost 2 sets of twins. We had some difficult times. But that's why he always said, I remember the day when we went into our last appointment and the doctor was like, he passed us some pamphlets, adoption pamphlets. And he said, you're not going to be able to have kids. So, you stop trying. He said, here's some pamphlets. You should really adopt if that's what you want to do. And I think I fell in love with him again.
Oh.
We told it, we just pushed it, we gave it back to him. We was like, we're going to keep trying. And
because he's like, we serve a God who's faithful.
Amen.
And that made me fall in love with him all over again.
Yeah.
I looked at him and I was like, give me them pamphlets. But he was like, no, we don't need them. We're going to another doctor. So that's when we went to the other doctor. And that's why this chapter was so important to us to write about our baby girl, because
I mean, literally, the birth of Amaya, finding out we were having another baby, and we had 3 daughters already, and she was pregnant with another daughter, with another child. It kind of fractured us.
It shook us
because I didn't really want another child, and she told me she was pregnant.
She was a surprise.
She was she was a surprise.
Right.
We weren't expecting to have another child.
Right.
And when she told me, I really kind of like cut off from her. For a month, we did not talk.
Wow.
We did not. We didn't have any communication. I was like, "You're not pregnant. No, you're not."
It was strictly house. Like, girls, okay.
Right.
Girls need this. Yeah. We did this. Have a good day.
We did not
work. We're robots.
Yeah, we did not talk about it. I went to work, came home, took care of the daughters, and we did not talk about it. And then I guess, I don't know, it just hit me like, this is really going to happen. And I need to really be communicating with my wife because we got to do this together.
Right.
Right.
We take care of a 4th child. We had 3 already. We weren't in the best of circumstances. It was a little tough. It was very tough.
It was tight.
Right? It was tight. I ain't gonna lie. It was, people looked at us and say, oh, they got 3 daughters. They got this stuff together. But let me tell you something. Behind the scenes,
it was tight.
Don't keep it together.
We didn't know where it was coming from.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
And
the fact we didn't know that she was born with Down syndrome.
We didn't know until
that was a surprise as well.
We didn't know until she was born.
That is crazy. So listen to this before we go into that piece. God is just something else. first you try to have babies, and you couldn't carry them. You weren't making it. Twins. I didn't even realize it was 2 sets of twins. So then they try to tell you need to adopt, and you're like, we won't quit. We're gonna keep trying. Yeah. Then you start having babies, you know, and they have the third baby. And I think she was how old was she when you found out?
Oh, she was only 6 months old when I was pregnant with the last baby.
Yeah.
Girl, that's why Brian was like, wait a minute. This baby was 6 months old and you pregnant? Right. That's some Raven stuff right there.
I can feel it, but I wanted to kind of elaborate on that just a little bit too before y'all get into the further details of the fact that, you know, that was a test. You know what I mean? And that test was what God was doing with you all at that time. I had to believe that had to be a test that, okay, what are y'all going to do? Are y'all going to believe me for what I can do for you? Or are you going to listen to these doctors? And y'all chose to listen to the doctors and trust God.
And trust God.
Look what he gave you.
Whose report are you going to believe?
Come on.
Look, y'all believe his report, and he just kept multiplying and multiplying and multiplying to the point where Brian was like, okay, God.
Okay, we got enough savings, God.
We got enough children now. I think you can cut this thing off. I didn't even get a boy yet, but I don't need any more kids.
I know. I tried.
Exactly.
Things was hard. Right. But what you going into, speaking about the Down syndrome and autism, you and Ricardo and I, you know, Ricardo's brother is autistic, and you're talking about Amaya. She's such a sweetheart. We should have had a picture of her tonight, my girl.
That sweet 16 was banging.
I know, y'all. Listen, we're gonna let them talk about her. Then we're gonna add to some of the stuff. Y'all they are some wonderful parents. I mean, amazing parents.
Yes, they are.
But now y'all go ahead and tell us about
Amaya is, how do you explain Amaya?
She is a bundle of joy. She is, well, I mean, you know, I guess, you know, reading, when you read the chapter, you'll understand first that she, you know, was a surprise and then she had downs, but then reading our book, you'll see the story that we kind of went through and how we came over it. But I think the biggest thing for us with our kids, including Amaya, was to never act like Amaya had a disability.
Right.
We never, ever treated her like she had a disability.
I don't think our girls really understood. I mean, they really didn't know what Down syndrome was. So when we say, look, you know, your sister is different, you know, but we don't want you to treat her like, they just treat her like just a regular old sister. Like,
hitting me, I'm hitting you.
I mean, they did their dances and they always treated her like there was nothing wrong with her.
Yep.
You know, and they were very protective of her, because when we go in public and you take her out in the stores, people look at her and they say, oh, you know, she looks a little different. But, you know, her sisters would, but in a minute.
Oh, I believe it.
Or mom in a minute. Like, what are you looking at? I mean, that's the kind of, like, you're not gonna be talking about my little sister, and, you know, but they were very, very protective of her.
Wow. Absolutely.
You know, we didn't have to even tell them that. They just did that on their own.
Yeah. Oh, that's really good. But y'all, that's what y'all exude in your family. You have a really close-knit family. You guys, I mean, we've done things together, and we can see that you've taught the girls to look out for one another. Yeah. They're a strong sister bond. They like me. It reminds me of me and my two younger sisters. We didn't really need friends because we were friends.
Right.
We did everything together. When I went out for the first time at 16, my mother was like, yep, take your two sisters with you.
I know that's right. That's right.
Yes, we ain't bringing no babies back. So if you take them two with you, I know you ain't going anywhere. But it was just like we did everything together. And I look at your girls and I'm like, man, they are really close. But I look at Amaya and I'm like, just what you said is exactly how it is. There is no difference whatsoever in how she is treated. And she be ready to go and ready to roll, just like everybody else.
But it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work on purpose. Meaning Brian and I put a lot of work into making them very tight. You know what I mean? It didn't just happen. It was a lot of things we put on purpose. I remember younger when my older two girls were fighting. They used to, you wore my shirt, you took this. Well, they went to school one day, and when they came home, I had gutted out their bedroom and made one bedroom and the other room was off guards. It was empty. They were not allowed to go in there. So I made them share a room for a year until they got along.
Oh, that was good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so we put a lot of emphasis on teamwork. You know, you the three of you, the four of you are what you're going to have when mom and dad leave. So it's important for us to leave this earth knowing that you have each other.
Yeah.
So we put a lot of things in place, a lot of family meetings, a lot of timeouts, a lot of one-on-one dates. Brian used to take them out on one-on-one dates. I took them out on one-on-one dates. I took them out to overnight, you know. I would take the two oldest overnight while Brian had the two youngest, or I would take the two youngest while he had the two oldest. So we did purposefully made them date us so they could have a relationship with us and feel comfortable with us growing up.
And it's evident. It is so evident. You know, we didn't realize that Sunday was Autism Awareness Day. So you weren't available for when we wanted to bring you on, but it was God. You weren't supposed to be available. Y'all was supposed to come on tonight because we're still celebrating Autism Awareness. And someone put in here, Yamika, she put in here, ain't nothing down about Maya. She's just extra love. And I totally agree with that. I give some hearts for that. We can all give some hearts for that. Right. She is extra love. God bless y'all with this baby. She's just a little different. And y'all, look, we all a little different. Everybody got something different about them. You know, and we have to adjust. It just shows us that you have to adjust to everyone. Amaya's different, maybe different on the outside, but some of us have differences that are on the inside that we need to pamper, we need to work on, we need people to shift and adjust so that we can get along and work together and things like that. So sometimes we look at people and we're looking at, oh, they're different. She got Down syndrome. No, well, what do you have? What is it about you that you might have that's different? So that's when we have to stop looking at other people and judging other people for who and what they are, because there's something about all of us that somebody would consider us down. But like the girl said, ain't nothing down about it. We all just need to love on each other. It's just extra love. Extra love.
Yeah. And for me, I can kind of really relate to that, being that my younger brother is autistic. You know, I'm 8 years older than him. So it was almost like, you know, I was a big brother, but almost, you know, like a father figure in certain ways too. And I was just like the girls, very protective of him. You know, if I was going to get into a fight, that would be one of the quickest ways for me to get into the fight if somebody's trying to tease him or treat him any kind of way. And so whenever my friends would come around, because at the time it was just me and him, you know what I mean? Whenever my friends would come around, they just embraced him and treated him like a regular kid, you know what I mean? Like he was no different. We would take my brother over to my friend's house to his brother that was about the same age as my brother, and they just got along and played and all of that good stuff. So my brother now, like I said, I'm about 8 years older than him, so he's close
40.
like over 40. He's like 42, 43. And it's funny because me and him, he lives in South Carolina. And he'll call me. This is his means of communication with me. He would say, "Hey, you know, it's schedule time, so it's time for." And so that's my cue to go into the internet and start reading him the schedules of the different football teams and baseball teams and things like that. And then as soon as I finish reading him the schedule, he said, "Okay, talk to you later. Bye."
It makes me laugh so hard but I know that's a form of communication, Ricardo, and love. But all I'm calling you for, bruh, Ricardo answered 2 questions. Everything all right. I'm fine, Brother Carter. It's schedule time. What I love also is, like we said about judging people. This young man, Ricardo, can tell him 3 different team schedules for the whole year. And he can rattle it back off to Ricardo he wrote nothing down. He just what Ricardo has told him about every team. And then he'll say, okay, well, when I come down, this is the game I want you to take me to in DC. After he just heard him say all 3 of those separate teams, he know exactly which one after he read, you know, and what day to go to that. So it's just special kind of things. And like Ricardo said, he's been reading since he was 3 years old. reading the whole newspaper.
Yeah, at 3.
At 3. You know, so we all special in our own kind of way.
Right.
Our own kind of way. We got a few people in the chat. Dr. Christie, she said it's so important to still love one another through our differences. Exactly. Mr. Maurice, I was hoping to have them on tonight, and I hit him up in Messenger, Mr. Maurice, and I could not find your email. But he says, what a special relationship, Ricardo, with you and your brother. Priceless. Yes, definitely. Y'all get some good love in here. I want to make sure. They said y'all made it look so easy. And that y'all do. I must say.
Y'all made that thing look real good.
Trust me.
It's work.
I'll tell you, when she was first born, we thought, kids with Down syndrome are very calm, not this one. This, I mean, because she had to go through physical, therapy, showing her how to feed herself and sit up and everything. Right. But when she started walking,
that was it.
It was a problem. Like this girl would literally disappear. Like I was the one, we used to go to the store. I was the one, she had the other 3 daughters. My main focus was to watch this one because she would be under the clothes racks. She would be here. I'm like, Tat, where is she? I can't keep up with this girl. Like, we try to run out the door in the house. I'm like, literally like, and I'm thinking she would be like calm and quiet. Nah, this girl was she back talk her sisters. She was disappearing on me. I'm like, where is she? She hiding from me. So I mean, she was very energetic.
Listen, like, I love her personality.
I'm telling you, I didn't see that coming. And everybody who met her, like our old church, when she was born and we introduced her to our home church, introduced her to them, and they just like people just like, oh, give me the baby, let me hold her. And I mean, they just accepted her. You had a couple people look at her a little different, like, but for the most part, everybody just loved on her. They would call her, oh, give me my baby, and so like ever since she was little, it's always been like that. And people just loving on her. And everybody, I always say, everybody who comes across Amaya is affected in a positive way.
Yes.
Like she loves on everybody. We would take her to the mall when she was little, and she would see the babies in the stroller, and she would try to get in the stroller with, like, Maya, these aren't doll babies, these real babies. Right. She would try to pick them up. And so we would have explained to the parents that, that she really doesn't understand.
Right.
Right. But at the same, some parents understood, some look at it a little funny, but for the most part, Maya just wanted to love on everybody. She walk up to strangers, she'd be like, what's your name? What's your parents' name? Like literally, like she didn't know you. She just walk up to you. How you doing? And we just let her do it because that was just her personality.
Right.
Maybe that person needed that day for this little girl to come up to him and say, how are you doing? Can I give you a hug? Yeah. And you can see some people's expression when they give her a hug. It would just make their day. She made
this one lady cry one time. We were out, and the lady was sitting in the car next to us. We were in front of the dollar store. That's like our favorite store. And the lady had, she was kind of like bent over in the car, and Amaya reached out the window. She was like, hey, and the lady said hi, and Amaya said, "You're so beautiful."
Wow.
And I was crying. So when she got out the car and came into the store, she said, I want to let you know, I just finished my last chemo. And she said, that made my day.
My God.
So, there's so many things that I want to encourage parents, though. There's so many things that the doctor will say when you have a special needs child. They're not going to do this, or don't be disappointed if they don't do this before this. Don't listen to them. Everything that the doctor told us that Amaya wouldn't do, she did. They said she might not walk till she's 2 or 3. She walked at 18 months. They said she might not be potty trained till she's about 4 or 5. She got potty trained at 18 months.
Wow.
I potty trained. Yeah, I didn't play.
She didn't play.
I was like, let's go. I'm not buying diapers and I'm not changing. Let's go. They said that, she wasn't going to walk. She wasn't going to talk. That, and I got her services at 3 months old. That was really important to me, that, having a support system and having faith and having God on your side. I didn't have time to dwell on that she's special needs. You know what I mean? Because I had a 6-month-old baby.
That's right.
And God worked in a way that he was able to show me, we got to go. We got to go. You got to get her the things that she needs. So I started Googling places. My best friend found some places. I started having services come to our house at 3 months old. She was 3 months old. She had physical therapy, respiratory therapy, and occupational therapy. I said, she's got to be able to do what my other girls do. We got to go.
Right.
I know that's right. And you know what I love? I thought with the baby girl, the knee baby is what I call it. The knee baby being 6 months when you became pregnant. So she had to be a little under a year and a half.
Yeah.
How still, even to when I'm around them, I sense that she has an issue with her sister because there's, you had to spend so much. It's one thing to have 2 babies back to back, but then you got to really care for that last baby. But you still can't see. You and Brian did a great job at balancing the fact that you had twins.
Yeah, it really was.
I mean, they were tight.
Yeah,
They were
it really
tight.
was. But it was, I think we did it on purpose. I remember us having a conversation and I said, I never want my children to feel like one child took up all of our time. And that was super important to me, that all of my children had the experience of having 2 parents in the moment and present. That was important to me. That was important for me to be present for them. Yeah.
Because I mean, having a child with Down syndrome, I mean, it really could have broken us up. Because, like, I mean, there was times I'm working off shifts and I'm coming home, and it's like there's times where
I was in school.
I mean, and she was home with the kids. She couldn't go to work. She couldn't work because she was watching the kids. So I was like, there was times it's like, God, like, why are you putting all this on me? And but I just said, I knew how. I said, I grew up my mother's single parent household, didn't have a father in the house. And I said, there's no way that I'm going to just, not help them, just like, give up. Like, I can't do it anymore. Like a lot of men do. A lot of men.
He worked too hard to get me.
Yeah, I did. I worked hard to get me.
Right. I know that's right. Yeah, we gonna let 4 girls tear this up.
Yeah. I mean, it's very stressful.
He worked too hard to get me, so he had to work double hard to keep me.
I know that's right.
But listen, man, I love the way that you go about. I love what your wife said, that you wanted to make sure that y'all were present and in the moment for each one of your daughters.
I really love that.
That's very important, and it didn't make it seem like, because what you did was eliminate any type of animosity.
Yeah.
That may have, how the enemy does. Because she's, has this condition, they're going to spend all their time with her, and we kind of get ignored. But y'all were very strategic and very wise to be able to apply that same type of emotion and love and affection to all 4 of your daughters equally. And that's really major, man. A lot of people can't do that.
Absolutely. Right. I'm so excited about it. And I was wanting to read on here. There's a couple that was at the table with you all, and I'm not sure if you knew this or not, but Monique Williams, Brian and Monique Williams, they were at the table with you all for the date night. Their oldest daughter had Down syndrome. She's a very beautiful spirit, very lovable. She passed at age 5. But like Team Pretlow, we had 4 more girls. She said Team Williams. That is amazing. They have 4 more beautiful daughters as well. So they said, get up pushing. But y'all will sit at the table together and have that in common. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You never know.
You just never know who you encounter
with. Yeah. But I would like for y'all to tell us, just for educational spin on this. You were telling me a little bit earlier, but what causes Down syndrome? You said
there's nothing that causes it. It's she has 3 extra chromosomes of the 21st chromosome. Okay. So where we all have 2 of each chromosome, she has 3 of that chromosome.
Oh.
So that's why it's called trisomy 21, because she has 3 of the 21st chromosomes. where everybody has two. She has that extra third, that third.
Listen.
Okay, that's educating me. And I know a lot of people probably didn't know that, or just me didn't know it. But thank you. Now I know. So that 21st chromosome, where we all have two of everyone, she has a third one there.
Right. And there's no rhyme or reason. There's nothing we ate. There's nothing that you do. There's nothing.
If you think about, like, did we do something? Because in ultrasounds, we saw nothing.
Right.
Well, we didn't know until she was born. Now, the question is, if we have known before she was born, what we might have made a different decision. Like, do we want to keep this child or let it be born? Right. So I think God was trying to say, I'm not going to let them know until this child is born. And then they find out, then I want to see what their response is.
And it was all God, because when I tell you, because being high risk, having 6 miscarriages, the minute I'm pregnant, ultrasound start. I go, doctor, ultrasounds. They missed every ultrasound. So when I got pregnant, after she was born, I went back to school. I'm that kind of person. I'm always going to be in school. I'm that kind of person. If something go wrong, I need to find out why. So I decided to go to ultrasound school. And while she was I started when she was like 4 months old. And I remember going, I said, you know what, let me just get a part-time job at TCC, working in the dean's office, because I needed to keep my HR skills up. And I said, I'm going to go back to school. So I remember telling my dean, I'm gonna apply for the ultrasound program. And he was like, oh, it's competitive. It's you're not going to get in there. I said, oh, I'm getting there. So I applied. It was about 240 of us applied. They only interviewed 30 of us, and they only chose 14 of us.
Wow.
So when I got into the program, you have to rotate. You do rotations. And I'm telling you, it's all God. When I did my rotation, I ended up rotating with my doctor's office. We don't pick them. Your director picks them. And I ended up rotating with the young lady who did my ultrasound. And she said, oh my God, how's Amaya? She pulled all the records. She saw every sign. Every single sign.
Wow.
And she said she did not know how she missed it.
Wow. So every sign was there. God hit that.
God hit it.
He hit it. And I believe that God hit it, because that's what he does. Things that he knows we can't handle. I always tell people, God hid my cancer for me. I didn't know I had cancer until I came out of surgery for cancer.
She was on
I didn't know in advance, because I probably would have died of worration. I would have been so stressed.
That would have been me.
I mean, just crazy about it. Till he knew that I can't let her know she got cancer completely. I felt like he had told me in the spirit, but to no, I probably wouldn't have been able to handle it. I tell Ricardo, God knew not to let them people tell me that I have cancer for sure, and then I had to go through it. So I believe.
Isn't it funny how he shields us from our fears?
Yes.
So that we can overcome. It's like he gives us that grace to be in the season, and then reveal it after we come out of the season.
We know you can handle it. Yeah. And I just want to say this to y'all. This it's been resonating with me since y'all said it. That is a special feat for y'all to give your daughters equal time. Some parents can't do that with all their children that have, you know what I mean? To do that for all 4 of your children, y'all might want to come up with some type of package or plan
on your own book.
To teach other parents how to do that, because that's a special skill.
I would love to see it.
Like, how people always ask me, like, how do you do it? How do you do it? 4 girls, and I just tell people, I don't think about it really. I just do it. It's just it just comes natural.
That's good.
If I think about, oh man, I got all these girls, and what people are gonna say. It's like, but you hear the jokes, like, oh, you got all girls, and it's like, when I was younger, it got to me a little bit, but as I got older, I was like, you know what? I mean, they're all blessings. So I don't. If I had boys, who knows? Right. But I got 4 daughters, and they may all have boys, but I always tell my wife, this is funny. if we have a grandson, I told her she won't see him.
That's all you.
That's all
He gonna be clean. He gonna be sharp. I mean, I'm gonna be on. I mean, I already told her. So,
but we're gonna have wonderful son-in-laws.
Yes, yes, we are.
You know,
that's the plan.
My girls are grounded, and you know, God is blessing them with some really good young men in their lives. So, you know, he reaps the rewards.
Yes.
They have to be good young men, honey, because y'all have raised some strong over there.
Strong.
So, honey, them brothers best to be. They better have their own A game because
I tell them good luck.
You know, my girls want somebody like their daddy.
They said that.
They do. Right. But you know what I try to tell them is, I said, your daddy and I, we have been together all of our 20s, all of our 30s, all of our 40s, and now in our 50s. The young men that you know, daddy in the 20s was not the father you see before you.
Yeah,
it's a growing process, but they want, you know, all my girls are in their 20s.
Yeah,
they want the 20-year-old to be daddy right now.
I mean, it's a growing process. I mean, when I met her, I wasn't going to church.
He was going to Sunday school.
I wasn't.
Not church.
No, we started dating.
Oh yeah.
My mother was. I mean, I just was not going at all. And the funny thing is, the church that I grew up in, you know, I would do this. I would do the plays, and I would go to Sunday school. Never joined the church. And I guess I was like in my 20s, and my mom just never really made me really have to join. And then when I met her, she was like, you know what, you need to get baptized. And I never thought about it. And I was like, I was like, huh? And she's like, you've never been baptized? I said, never been baptized. And she's like, look, you need to get baptized. We need to join the church.
Listen,
I wasn't reckless. I wasn't out there just doing crazy in the streets. I didn't have no relationship with God at that age, in my early 20s. I was, you know, just being a 20-year-old, trying to find myself, not really knowing, then you know, really where I was going. And she came into my life and just kind of like, this is what we're going to do. So I'm glad she did, because I don't know what I'd be doing.
That's a blessing. Kimberly kind of did the same thing for me, Brian. I won't say, you know, when we met, I was leaving out of my 20s, going into my 30s. But I was still wilding. I was in the Navy doing what Navy sailors do, wilding out, acting crazy.
All the way wild, y'all. Y'all on a new half.
That's what we do. You gotta have a look. You gotta get out of your system, you know.
Yeah, that's what it was. Absolutely. I had to get it completely out of my system. But she was like, no, I'm going. So this is what she does. She says, I'm gonna get saved. I'm gonna join this church. I don't know what you gonna do, but I'm getting ready to go join this church, and I'm getting ready to get saved. So that brought conviction on me. Like
that morning, I told her that morning, it wasn't no, are you getting saved with me? I'm just letting you know this is what I'm doing. So I won't be clubbing. I'm not gonna be drinking no more. Because he had just been on deployment for 6 months. He came back home to a whole different wife. He was like, I was watching Joel Osteen, y'all. Joel Osteen, January, New Year's Day of 2005. I was watching Joel Osteen. Ricardo was on 2006. He was on deployment. Joel Osteen blessed me so much. And when he did an altar call, I said, I'm going back to the Lord. I've been out here having a ball for so long. I rededicated my life with Joel Osteen on TV. You know, and so when Ricardo got back that March, April time frame, he was like, well, where is the Kimberly that I left? He had a whole sold out radical for Christ. I mean, I was all the way in. Y'all.
All the way
in.
Only 6 months. It took 6 months to make that change. Wow.
It just took 6 months to adjust completely. And I mean, complete turnaround. And I seen at the bottom of the screen on the TV that there was going to be a church that was opening in Suffolk, a new one. And it was going to be small. I'm going to go there. And we started going there, and I got there, and I was like, listen, I'm finna partner with this church right here. Back then, it was church. And I did, and he was like, I looked, it was so beautiful because I walked out to go up there, and I looked, I got in the alleyway, and he was behind me, coming on up with me.
Isn't that how they do?
Yeah.
I let her get saved without me. You ain't going to heaven without me. I'm going to be caught up in the rapture, too.
We in this together.
Yeah,
that's right. So I must say that for the both of you, You guys are amazing examples.
Yes.
Not just as a married couple, because you had to have pushed through when you didn't want to. Like Ryan said, in your marriage alone, after almost 30 years, with not just 4 children, you experienced 10 children. 10. Wow. And you have 4. One that's special to all of us, special love child. You know, that's a lot for you all. And people don't even know, Tabitha, that you lost your mother young. So you didn't have that reach back. You're an only child. I mean, I had so much compassion as I was praying about you last night, the both of you, because we try to do that before who we're going to have on. And I had so much compassion. It just was overwhelming to me how well you have done for yourself and for your family and for your husband. And y'all made it through all these years together. Not saying it was perfect. None of us have perfect.
Right.
All of us going to experience things. You know, stuff is going to happen. But y'all have made it this far. Your girls are beautiful powerhouses. You know, I can already see their part. But they love God. Y'all got them to even love God. They got their little boyfriends. You know, they learning how to. They say, Dad, my dad told me this. And my dad said they better treat me like that. And my dad, and I love it because it just shows how Brian has instilled so much in them from his, like you said, he has his own relationship with them. And he's taught them well how to look for a man and how a man is going to treat them and how he's not going to treat them. You know, they said that when we did the young girls and young wives and couples, women that want to get married, getaway. They were sharing that stuff that their dad, and I love that they were talking about what their dad has taught them, and and how much we see, how much they love Tabitha. It's evident what you guys have instilled. So if nothing else, if we can give some hearts to them, y'all, because I'm up here trying not to cry myself now because it's hard to find people, and you know they're so humble. I don't even think they see that in themselves. I know they sometimes they probably be tired. Like Brian had to get up, go to work, catch the ferry. Go to work, get there. You know, it's just so much y'all doing that to y'all. Like you said, Brian, routine. You don't think about it. But you just do it.
Yeah.
But it's so special.
It's special. It's outside of the ordinary, man. I'm really telling you that the things that you and your wife are doing and have done for your daughters, man, is outside of the ordinary. Not every couple, not every marriage, not every parent can do what y'all have done. You know what I mean? So I'm really telling you that's the grace and the anointing that has to be on your life, and people need to know. I know it's probably hard to explain how you did it, but people need to kind of get that understanding as to how y'all, like your wife elegantly explained, to be y'all was intentional about being present in the moment and giving each one of your girls the same amount of time, love, and opportunity.
Absolutely. So I think when I first started talking to y'all, I told y'all God was going to do something special with you all, with your daughter. And just listening to your story tonight, even a children's book that will help parents with autistic kids, how y'all did it. It don't have to be 150 pages. It can be 30, 40 pages. And it becomes a series on the ages of Amaya. Every year, this is what you did, and this is how you did it. You go back and think about those memories and how y'all survived, and Dad getting up, going to work, or Dad looking for Maya in the store because she's all up under the. Just think about how you can put that on paper in books, and people find a series of books they can go to if they have autistic kids. That's what God. And now that we're talking, I knew he had.
Yeah, we thought about a parent's workbook, kind of like a parent's workbook.
Yeah.
We thought about that.
Yeah.
We also thought about like trying to do like a young adult center, because there's not many activities for children and young adults, right? She's a teenager now, but she has her sister, so they're taking her out. Like Sunday, the 4 of them went out for their sister's dinner. They do a sister's dinner. We're not allowed to go. So just the 4 of them go out. Yeah, they do a sister's dinner.
I ain't got paid. Okay.
But we thought about that because there's not too many places that they can go and be comfortable. So, we thought about even like a drive-in movie theater for children with special needs, because then this way they can, come as they are, wear pajamas. They don't have to be around people if they don't want to be around people. Because a lot of kids with special needs, they have boundaries or they have senses, right? So they could wear shades, if they wanted to see the movie. So we thought about a lot of different things that we're coming up with something. So, but I do like the children's book as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. I know God is going to do something.
Yeah. Just pray about it. Just pray about it. I think, like Kimberly said in the opening, April is the month where God is really, where I guess Pastor Deneen taught that God is really, this is the season to send your prayers and your requests up so that you can hear him clearly as to what he wants you to do. But it's clear to me in my spirit and in my hearing and your testimony that God wants y'all to do something to assist or to help with special need type people and children and young adults. That's pretty clear to me. What he wants you to do, that's only up for him to let
he'll give y'all that business. Yeah. Clearly. Listen, you say you got 4 girls. We got Tempest on here. She talking about dad and mom.
We have a lot of adopted children.
We have a lot of adopted
they just very extensive family.
It's a lot of them.
Absolutely. They say y'all are a blessing to them. And Julian Haskins, he says Pops is built different. Absolutely. So y'all got other kids on here as well. You got other children. So y'all you give a lot of yourself. That I'm telling you, Brian.
We don't mind. Like when we bought this house, and we always say we wanted a house that's just open, for people to come here and they can feel comfortable, feel peace. Don't have to worry about nothing. I mean, if you come here, just feel like you're at home.
That's good.
And that's one reason we bought the house. I just wanted a big enough house where we can have functions and have people over, because I didn't have that growing up. It was just me and my mom in an apartment, and I said when I got older I want a nice big house, and so everybody can just have their own room and people can come over and just feel comfortable. We cook out, we just have a good time. That's
call it safe haven.
Yeah.
Like my girl said, we take in too many people.
Yeah. Because when we first had a house in Chesapeake in Deep Creek,
we had the world, and
I'd be in the house coming home from work. I'm seeing these girls coming from home. I'm like, who are these kids?
I was that parent that fed everybody.
She was the one that everybody come in the house. I'm like, who are these girls?
I definitely believe that.
I'm like, really? And I'm at the breakfast table. I'm like, who is this?
I'm
like, baby, don't worry.
If they knocked on the door and they said they were hungry, they were getting a plate.
I'm like, man.
I was shopping for kids. I didn't even know their last name. If my girls came home and said, Mommy, so and so needs something. All right, come on, let's go to the store. Let's go.
Brian said we was trying to make it, and y'all. That's why you was trying to make it. You had a whole house full.
Like she bringing in people. All these kids.
Yeah, we'll get it sometime in our life. We'll get it.
But I look back on it. I mean, it made me, more patient.
Yeah.
I definitely, I didn't have, I'll definitely be patient. I have a lot of patience right now. So.
Wow, your girls are loving y'all on here. They said Brianna says she loves y'all. Big kisses.
That's her twin.
Yeah, that's said all their friends was at the house.
Yeah, Julian said that y'all were the neighborhood parents. So.
Yeah,
really
were.
Yeah, so that's real dope. I mean, I'm telling y'all, I love and enjoy the conversation that we have, and I love the fact that that spirit of peace that you talked about, Brian, y'all exude that.
Oh, absolutely.
You and your wife.
You can see it on y'all.
We see the peace on y'all. And I know that's probably not something you always had, but I see it clearly with you and your wife and the love that y'all have for so many people. So it's only a blessing for y'all to be getting the kudos and the love that y'all are getting, because it's well deserved and warranted.
Absolutely. And we thank y'all for even joining us on tonight. Remember, I said we supposed to be done at 8:45, and we never make that.
I know.
And we always come on saying, "What we gonna talk about? How we gonna make it a whole hour?"
The Holy Spirit works
never a
that
problem.
out.
Never a problem. But
thank you for having us.
Yes. We're happy that y'all came on. I'm glad we had the whole hour with you all by yourself. So we'll have to get Mr. Maurice and his wife, the author, up here next time. They I think they out of Tennessee, possibly. I know they're not local. Maurice Allman and his wife, we're gonna bring them up because she wrote a book and she sent it to me as well, and I want her to be able to share about that. We won't be on everything this week. We got some people subbing for us this month, so we can spend some time with the good Lord and get some more vision reinforced, because we got some great things happening this year. But we thank God for you too.
Yes, y'all are amazing, and we thank God that y'all are on our team, and thank God that y'all are part of this community of married RHK couples in marriage. And this is how we build, right? This is how we share, this is how we build, and this is how we get better. Absolutely. So we thank y'all for sharing, and thank y'all for being open and authentic.
Transparent. Absolutely. Yeah. Y'all got any last words for the people? Any advice, anything you want to share with the folks?
I would just say never conform to society. Stay true to yourself, stay true to your values. And just remember that God is not going to leave you astray, right? God is, if you're doing what you're supposed to do to maintain your household and you keep him first and you keep him in your marriage, everything else. I mean, you know, there was a point I remember in our marriage in the beginning when I was like, I don't care. Like I was stressing, right? And I said, I don't care. I woke up one morning. I said, I'm going to the store. And I remember turning around and telling him, I said, I turn it all over to God. If we have to live in a van with me, you, and them girls, I'm good. I'm good. So I think keeping it true to yourself.
Yes.
Value your husband, right? And remember that you're a team, and take out all the negativity and don't let people talk in your ear.
Oh, hey, come on, say that again.
Don't let people, and I mean that in a good way. Your mom, your dad, your siblings, your next door neighbor. If it's negativity, do not allow them to talk in your ear to kill your marriage.
That's it. That's it.
You're right.
Brian, do you have anything to add, Brian?
She did a pretty good job there. I put on a man's perspective, just to say that even though it may be difficult at times, you know, especially African American men, you know, you got the, you know, a lot of men are not in the house; they leave the house, and you know, I didn't have a father in the household growing up, so I knew, like growing up, I said, when I do have kids and when I do get married, I'm gonna always be there, no matter what. You know, I'm not just going to, oh, it's too hard for him, I'm going to leave. And, you know, like there's times, you know, it is difficult, but I know I have to be here for them. And like me and her, we're tight. Nothing's going to break us up. We know we've had our hard times. It hasn't been people look at us and think we got it all together. But I mean, there's times where, you know, we just didn't know. You know, it was hard at times. And I can say 30 years later, we still together.
Absolutely.
You know, we still got work to do. It's never you always have something to accomplish. Like, you know, we're working on our marriage every day.
On purpose. And just trying to be, you know, positive role models to others who look at us younger than us and say, you know, I want to be like them. But I mean, I just let them know, you know, it takes work. You gotta put the work in.
You gotta put the work in.
You
know, because I didn't have a rule book on what marriage was. I didn't see it growing up. So
I grew up opposite.
She had both her parents. I had my mom. So I didn't really see like what is it to be married. So I'm like kind of winging. Like, is this what am I winging it? Like I'm trying. Like I'm winging it.
You winging it.
You know, like
you winging good.
Yeah. But I got my good wingman right here. So.
That's right. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Man, I love it.
And you a curse breaker.
Yeah.
I mean, you a generational curse breaker. You had a home without a father, but you made sure to break that thing. You did it for all your girls, and now they're going to continue. I'm sure they're going to do that and continue. I want my kids to grow up with their father, mom.
Right.
Like Pops was here all my life. You know, I can't imagine them not having a father figure in their home with them. So, awesome job, Brian.
Yeah, I just want to say, bros, thank you for stepping up and being a man's man and not leaving or running away when times got hard and tough.
Mm-hmm.
You stayed in there and you stayed with your responsibility. So that's major, bro.
Absolutely. Well, we thank y'all. You got any closing? Yes. Thank y'all so much for joining us on tonight. Look, you know we can talk for hours. I'm telling you that.
Absolutely.
But y'all hang on. We're going to get everybody else and say our good nights to everyone. Thursday, 6:30 a.m. We'll be up praying about it. Hey, guys, what week is it? It's Passion Week. You know, Jesus rose again this week.
Yes, he did.
Wait a minute. Don't forget now, on Friday, he went down to hell and kicked the devils behind and took the keys to the kingdom and brought them back. All our sins was dropped off in hell, and he got the keys and came on back here for us, you know, for our lives. So don't forget what season this is. Don't forget what week this is. Don't forget that God, Jesus rose on the third day.
Just for you.
Just for you. Just for Amaya. Just for all of your family. Amen. He did that. Everybody watching tonight. So remember, go to church if you haven't been all year.
Put on that nice suit.
Put on that nice suit. Look, I said I ain't buying nothing. I'm gonna pull something out back my and put it on and go to church Sunday. But yes, thank y'all so much for being with us tonight. We had a great time. This was a great conversation. If you don't know anything about autism and Down syndrome, pick up a book. Read it. Keep a lookout for the Pretlow's book that's probably going to come out in 2024.
I'm telling you.
You said it.
I'm putting it out there. I'm putting it out there.
In the atmosphere.
I'm putting it out there for God to grab it and move it. Because he'll do it. What he says, what you say he will do.
Amen.
So we thank y'all. Ricardo, you got anything else?
Only thing I want to say is, like always, man, thank y'all, Team Pretlow, for being with us tonight. Thank y'all, people that are still on, for rocking with us and keeping us, you know, current and us coming together as a community, sharing incredible information. Remember, we love y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with us and kicking it with us. And we'll see y'all again in the next couple of weeks. Absolutely. And remember us again every Thursday at 6:30. We'll be on that prayer.
Look, and on our way out, I'm gonna give y'all one last commercial. And we'll be closing out from there if I get it right. Let's see if it's gonna work for me.
Frost, Wives Prayer Journal. When wives pray, God moves is a great addition for any woman, whether married or not. Take this journal and begin to have communication on an intimate level with your Heavenly Father. Read, meditate, and write reflections to help you push through the situations of life. Order your copy on Amazon today.
All right, y'all. On that note, we love y'all.
Everybody.
Y'all have a great night, and we'll see y'all soon.
All right. Everybody. We love y'all.
God bless.
God bless.